Hey guys! Welcome back to Let's Play Star Ocean 3. Since last time, we made our way back to Curlsaw here, and along the way I've expanded the workshop facilities at the other workshop here in Curlsaw, as well as the one in, where was that, Paterni? And I did the one in Aquaria last time. And as you can see, this has taken a drastic hit on my funds, and I don't really have all that much money left in order to do things with. So, I want to show you a really useful money-making tool. Now, in order to do this, we must do alchemy, and I've already done this, which is why it's dropped down as low as it has. And let's just kind of show you how this works here. I don't want to buy something, I want to sell something. Let's use R2. Let's go over and check out accessory. It's not an accessory, it is an other item, I believe. Materials, whatever, it's at the bottom. There we go. The Celestial Homunculus. Now, you can create this at Alchemy for a cost of between 9,000 and anything above 9,000, basically. There's nothing else in that range. I'll show you the party I used momentarily. But your chances with the current party that I have are quite high. And it only costs, you know, like 9,000, 10,000, and you're pretty much guaranteed to get the first 10 without fail. Rarely you'll miss one. So what you do is you create 10 of them, cost you, 100 grand, and then you can sell those for 200 grand. And so just do 10, end your line, because otherwise your quality starts dipping too low, and start another line, do it all over again, get another 10, of course you can only hold 20, go sell, and repeat. Now, I've already done this, I already picked up 20 of these, and I will show off a little more, but basically the idea is, yeah, I just basically restocked all my money, right then and there. Now, they're not particularly useful for equipping. Unfortunately, it's not like Star Ocean Second Story, where shooting balls of light or any other such thing is actually somewhat useful. Unfortunately, it just really isn't right now. So, in order to show you guys what I did, my other people are over here, you want a party of Ancilla, Misty Lear, and Sophia for creating these. And like I said, anything above 9,000, make 10, reset, do another 10, and then go sell all 20, come back, do it all over again. I've only done one set. I just showed you the set that I've done. The reason for that is, one, I was running low on money, and two, I just kind of wanted to show you that we now have money-making schemes that we can do, and because I was, running low on money from all the other stuff that I've done. I'm not going to do too much more item creation for the time being. I just kind of wanted to show that off. Now, at the end of the last episode, we created a bunch of new weapons, so let's take a look at those. There is some other stuff we're doing, and there's actually a reason why I'm here in Curlsaw, so other than just because that's when I happen to run short on money. Anyway, here we have the Vaneslay we created last time. It has no factors on it, which makes it a completely empty weapon. It is his best empty weapon in the game. Best weapon, I think, that you can item create for him as well. At least in terms of smithing and creating it in that manner. There are other ways you can get better weapons through alchemy or through item creation, and I will go over those probably post-game, if not right before the final dungeon. And with that being said, might as well give him that. It's better than what he has. The Astral Armor. Now, this doesn't have as much base defense. However, let's take a look at it in the items section here. Is it still here? Where did it go? I've already looked at it, so it's gone now, isn't it? Oh, no, there it is. Yes, as you can see, the defense plus 20 has a 1 factor on it, and that 1 means that it will duplicate. Now, the other item, or the other factors, have no 1, so they won't duplicate, they won't change, they won't go away, nothing changes. However, there are 4 empty slots on these armors, so you can duplicate that 20 plus defense up to 4 more times, for a total of another 80 defense, which will bring it to be the most powerful armor we'll have until quite a ways into post-game. So yeah, best heavy armor in the game. Now, the other one, the Elemental Leather, it only has a defense factor of +5, which is kind of unfortunate. It's nowhere near as high defense, but you have damage from all elements, so that's a pretty good substitute for the additional defense, and makes any of your medium armor wielders much better against pretty much anything else. I'm not going to equip these yet because I'm going to dupe those factors, and I'll kind of go over it briefly. What else did we get? We got the Mithril Gauntlets for you. Yeah, 1000 attack power, empty weapon, very nice. In fact, I'm going to do some work on this weapon as well before I get too far. I haven't been able to make you a new gun yet, but that will happen at some point in the somewhat near future. So yeah, unfortunately, let's, there we go, 115, yeah, so even with duplicating the +5 up to 3 more times, I'm only going to get another 15 defense. It's not going to be as good as the defense she has now with the Ablative Shield, but I like it more just because it is quite useful, and it also gives you a little more agility, which means more chance to dodge and block and all that. And for Nell, we created the Ice Blades, which are indeed better. I thought it had 900. Whatever. But unfortunately, it has water damage. For the most part, this won't be a big deal. But there are certain bosses where you'll just have to unequip these and put the laser weapon back on. For now, I'm just going to equip that on her. I'll change it if I have need to do so later. And Mithril Gauntlet. So I'm going to do some additional work on these other items. There is another thing to do, but I will do that afterward. Let's just see here. If we head in here, and we want to invent, we want to do smithing. Gusto, where are you? Let's see here. Gusto, there you are. Is this where I am? Current location A. Yes. Let's put you there. Now, this doesn't particularly matter for, what is it? As I've talked about before, the base value of your talent doesn't matter too much, or at all, when it comes to this, but I believe he's got something quite useful in terms of other factors.
Hey there. How's
let's see.
now?
Made some other new stuff here. Berserker device is somewhat interesting. I'll take a look at that later. It's not in stores yet, so. Let's see. Gusto. Let's see. Yeah, minus time by 20%, which will help. So might as well have min on this. Basically, I want to refine the abilities, and I've gone over this briefly, but let's just show it again real quick. Armor, mithril plate. I don't think I've shown it on armor. So you can only use smithery on armor and weapons. I don't have any other weapons I can do that with because none of them have factors that are modifiable. So what I want to do, take the astral armor, go like this. You can dick around and see if you can get a low value. This is going to use one of your smithery materials, but I do want to make sure that I use them. Pretty much this is what I've saved them for. You can get more, but it's not as reliable as getting crafting materials. Unfortunately, this is going to kind of hurt my funds a little bit, especially if it doesn't work properly. Thank you. And it duplicated it. Now, next time you go to do this, you'll have a chance of it duplicating the top factor and the bottom factor, or just one of them. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm going to go and I'm going to do all of that to both armors for you guys, as well as a couple of armors, elemental leathers for Nell and for Maria, and then I will see you in a moment. Okay, we're back. Now, as you can see, I have 2 lines set up. I know I said I was going to do a bunch of things, and I did those, and I just kind of wanted to show that you can do this. You can set up 2 lines with 2 different parties. Now, if you remember from earlier in the game, somewhere around 5,000, you could create the Rune Blade, which was our money-making strategy earlier in the game, if you wanted to use it. I used it a little bit, and I'll be using the other strategy that I showed off, or at least demonstrated or talked about earlier. Right here, we can do this one as well. So you can go like this and actually have both of them progress at the same time. Now, you can make more money this way, but the amount of money you're getting per amount of time is obviously higher when it comes to line 1, which has the you know, you get, I think, 10,000 for each line, when the other one you only get about 5,000. But it's still here if that's what you want to do. So you can keep doing this, you make a bunch of money, and then you can move on. Unfortunately, they move at weird rates and they don't line up properly in the end, and people start to fail. Now what you do here is you can request item submission from one line, and we get 7 of those, and here we can do it for line 2, and I actually got something I wasn't trying to get. We got a cattail staff. Wonder if that's any good. Anyway, no matter, I just kind of wanted to show that off. One more thing we can do with item creation, but first let's go sell that stuff. Actually, let's take a look at that cattail thingy. Let's see here. That sucks. Why would you want that? Oh well, whatever. We'll sell it. It lost me a bunch of money, but like I said, I have access to, you know, item creation. I can pretty much do whatever I want as far as money goes, so that's always nice. Sell those. Where's that cattail stuff? It probably doesn't even sell for very much. Let's go over to weapons. Oh, look at that. It sells pretty much as well as the rune blade does. That's always nice. At least I didn't waste my money on it. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to show off that. I'm not even going to bother submitting those items to item creation thing to get them rated. It really doesn't matter unless you want to buy them, and that's kind of rare, so... Anyway, with that being said, the best people for this next task, you'll want to start pulling people off of the line here so they're not doing anything, would be Nell, Sophia, and Maria. Pretty much, I think they're one of the better teams. They all have negative, you know, minus time or minus cost, and we want to synthesize. Now, synthesize, as you can see, it requires synthesis materials, the only materials we don't have an infinite supply of. They are dropped by some enemies, but I'm not sure if you can refight those. I think it's mostly bosses. In addition to that, unlike the other materials where you'll try and upgrade something and it can fail, these will always work 100% of the time on the first attempt. So they kind of make up for it in that way. Now, I need to choose an item to apply my increased experience to, the items that I got earlier in the game. And because the Mithril Gauntlets are pretty much my most powerful weapon at this point, and I'm going to have Cliff in my party for quite some time, I'm going to choose that one. Now, how Synthesize works is you take stats or factors from other items, including other weapons, and what it'll do is it'll destroy the item to be synthesized, the second choice, and apply those factors onto the first item, in this case the Mithril Gauntlets. Now I could do something like put -2 Fury, but that would be a waste. I could put all of those factors. Some things don't transfer properly to certain items, like armor doesn't take certain things that weapons do. Weapons just don't take certain things that, you know, would apply to armor. Some things will go on, and like, let's see here, go to usable items. You can synthesize blueberries onto a Mithril Gauntlets, which will give you an attack +5 or an attack +10 because it doesn't carry properly. Now, I'm not sure if there's a guide that shows specifically which ones screw up, but there's a guide that shows which ones do what you want them to do and how to get those items. Again, as always, my resource is game packs and probably will always be. So, with that being said, the Ring of Erudition, which had experience. Now, this transfers properly. Now, basically, you just want to play around here until you get a nice low value. Unfortunately, it's not that low, but it is what it is. And we want to apply the factor. And of course it's successful. Now I'm going to apply the rest of them. Now unfortunately, as you keep going, specifically with synthesis, it seems to make them even more expensive as you go along. As you can see, drastically higher than the previous one. And so I'm going to keep doing this, get the lowest value I can, and I'll do the rest off screen, and I'll see you in a moment. And we're finished at last. That didn't actually take all that long, but there you go. We have 100% experience on the Mithril Gauntlets. Now, if you don't know which characters you plan on using, throughout the rest of the game, I would suggest putting those on a laser weapon, because then you can transfer it to whoever you want. This means I'm going to have Cliff in my party for pretty much the rest of the game if I want to take advantage of that additional value there. Now, I could buy another Mithril Gauntlet, and I will, so that I don't have me gaining all this experience now, because my levels are a little high as is. But if it's your first time playing, you probably want to do this so that you have the additional levels, make the game a little bit easier for you. And say if you're on Universe difficulty, the higher difficulty mode, you may want to put those on just, to kind of keep up. With that being said, that's pretty much all I wanted to do. I will be going back and picking up some of the ones that I've missed, just so that you know. Pretty much the only one I'll be grabbing anytime soon is in Gemini. Like I said, we'll still be returning to the Shrine of Kadan, where I left to much earlier in the game. So, was this guy weapons? I think the other guy was weapons. One on the other side was weapons. So I'm just going to buy that Mithril Gauntlet real quick, and then we can actually do what we came to Girls to do. Actually kind of worried about this episode, because I didn't have a big plan about what I was going to do, and I expected to, there we go, pretty cheap, 9,000 for the best weapon he can equip at this point. Actually, it's the best weapon you can buy for him ever. And there's nothing else of value there, so I've got another one for him, so now he has a good weapon too. And of course, if you have more than one of an item, you can select which one you want to equip. Now, you may be looking at the fact that, oh, I have the ability to gain more experience, why am I not using it? Well, there's a lot of things I have the ability to do now that I have access to certain characters, and specifically inventors. And the thing is, I could completely break the game at this stage, but I'm not going to. And there is a reason why I'm not going to break the game. It's pretty obvious. I've kind of broken it enough as is. But I do want to leave some amount of challenge in there to kind of, show a slightly more balanced approach. This is probably the wrong room too, isn't it? Nope, here he is, Woltar. And if you have not recruited Albel, and you come here and you talk to him after coming back from Gemini, he will tell you that we have ignited a spark in him, and he has vanished without a trace. Okay. You gonna tell me where he went? No, you're not. What's in here? Blackberries. Probably had too many before. And yeah, he won't tell us where he is. Though he does mention sweat pouring like a waterfall, which should tell you that he's in a place that is rather warm. Yes, he's in the Ursa lava caves. He's actually with Crocell. However, he does not appear there until you get this line of dialogue. Now, there is another scene, potentially. I haven't actually checked this one out yet, but I will, and I will get back to you. It's in Suferio with Roger. If there is actually a scene there, I will show it to you if it's any different from what we already saw before leaving for Gemini and 4D Space. If not, I will meet you in the Ursa Lava Caves. Okay, we're back, and we're in Surferio, in the village chief's hut, or whatever it is. As you can see, Roger is here, and there's a number of things we can do. First, we must approach. Unfortunately, you will have to read. For some reason, they did not voice these scenes. I don't know why. And of course, because I've recruited Nell, I can't show off her scene if you try to recruit her. But, like I said, this is the 8th recruitment option you can do. Well, I said it in previous episodes anyway. Basically, you come back to Elicor, you can recruit one of the 2 Elicorians that you left behind if you have not recruited Pepita. Anyway, Roger seems to be acting rather strangely, even for him. Of course we have business to attend to. We gotta save the game? Or world? I'm not sure anymore. Yeah, it's an adventure. It's a video game. Okay. What do you got, Cliff? I don't really want to take you. It's actually, well, I just watched the scene a couple of minutes ago to see if it was here, but that's the only time I've seen this. So I'm going to make a save state here. Okay, choose the first option. Obviously he comes. Second option, he does not come. Third option, you can walk away and attempt to recruit him later on. I just wanted to see if it was anything interesting. Not particularly. Let's go talk to him again. Show off all three options here. Now, does it restart the whole scene? Yes, it does. We'll fast forward. Whee! Wait till Cliff shows up. And eventually... Come on. Hurry up, Roger. Stop waiting around. Anyway, let's allow him to come along this time. Let's see what that does. Hard as a sailor on a leaky boat. Well, if the boat's leaky, then the sailor wasn't working all that hard. So, apparently he wasn't. Whatever. It's funny how Cliff poked a completely different hole in Roger's explanation. Watch your tongue. Yes, he is. Nice. The screen's getting a little bit, cluttered. Anyway, with that, we recruit Roger permanently this time. If you decide to get him, he comes at the same level he did before, and I still don't care. Anyway, try to dodge the question. This option will not allow you to recruit him at all. So, anyway, if you decide to do that, you can. I'm going to undo this save state, so this won't never have happened. Not that it makes any difference, but... I just wanted to show these off because after this, we're going to try for Albel. Though I won't be recruiting him quite yet. There's a couple of reasons, and I'll get into that next time when we actually do something with it. Next time should be the last time I'm doing any side stuff. Hopefully we'll have time to move on to the actual, back onto the plot. Kind of just ditched it for a few episodes to do side stuff again. I do realize that it's kind of disruptive to go on a whole bunch, a few episodes out of nowhere of side quests, especially considering how many I've done. Not even just side quests, just side events, mini games, and other such things. But unfortunately, it's just kind of par for the course with this game. There's a lot of stuff to do. I want to show, as early as possible when you can do these things. For the most part, anyway. There's some stuff, like I said, I could completely break the game at this stage and be doing max damage, but that would obviously just completely break the game. And that's something I just don't want to do. Showing how to exploit the battle system, the item creation system, anything like that, that I like to show off because that's interesting. That's something that you guys can take from the Let's Play and see if you enjoy it. And, maybe you'll find an interest in the game when you decide to play it yourself, if you decide to do so. At this point, showing how to completely break a game, doesn't hold a lot of interest for me. But then again, I haven't Let's Played Final Fantasy VIII yet. Oh no, I love to break that game, and it's so easy, yet still so time-consuming. Anyway, I haven't been commenting on what they're talking about. Roger is rather funny with his, kind of, sort of understanding the secret mission, and not really at the same time. But yeah, oh well. Anyway, that's pretty much all for this. And we won't be recruiting you next time either, or at least I won't. If you decide that you like Roger, that's entirely up to you. You'll get your opportunity to attempt that yourself if you decide to play the game, and you recruit him in the temporary spot that you have for him back in the Douglas Forest when you're rescuing Amina. But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. Next time, I will meet you in the depths of the Ursal Lava Cave, and we can go and find out what Albel's up to and what we get for talking to him. Maybe we can recruit him. Well, we can, but I'll see what else is there. Anyway, that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.